Before we get started, I want to make sure that you all know that there will be spoilers in this video. Sonic Forces is obviously not out yet, but we'll be discussing a character who seems to be a main focus of the new game, as well as talking a fair amount about the plot and endings of Sonic Mania. If you want to avoid spoilers for Mania or Forces, I recommend that you wait until you've played those games and then come back to this video. Also, there's going to be some plot discussion from some of the other Sonic games as well. Now then, if you don't mind some spoilers, let's get started. Now, if you're a huge Sonic fan like myself, you'd be really enjoying the release of Sonic Mania. Hearing about the possible connections between Mania and Forces, I started to listen to the music of Forces and look at the trailers that have already been released, when I noticed something very familiar at the end of the E3 Sonic Forces trailer. Let's see if you spot it as well. Did you spot it? The sound effect that plays when Infinite does the ability at the end of the trailer should be very familiar to you if you've been playing Sonic Mania, as you hear it a lot. This sound effect plays whenever the gem in Sonic Mania changes time, or dimensions. It's not really fully explained, but it's safe to assume that it's time being altered. After hearing this sound effect, my mind started racing on the possibilities of who Infinite could actually be. In this video, we're going to go over 3 ideas I've been tossing around about the identity of Infinite. The first idea is that Infinite is a new character. This is the safest bet, as traditionally the new villain in a mainline Sonic game is a new character and/or Eggman. But there are some things about Infinite and the end of Sonic Mania that make me think this could possibly not be the case. The main reasons when we consider the true ending of Sonic Mania, so when you finish the game as Sonic with all 7 Chaos Emeralds, this scene plays at the boss fight with Eggman and the Heavy King. As we see, Sonic is being sucked into the portal with the mysterious gem, or Phantom Ruby, after interacts with the emeralds and sends them away. After Little Planet disappears, and the good ending of Sonic's CD reference, with the stars making the shape of Sonic's head, we see Sonic traveling through the portal and making the same pose he made when we first saw classic Sonic in Sonic Forces. But what happened to the Phantom Ruby? I find it too perfect that Infinite just happens to somehow have the same abilities as this gem that was so central to Sonic Mania's plot in Sonic Forces. The next reason I think he may not be a new character is that he wears a mask. Now, hear me out on this one. Most, if not all of the mainline Sonic villains do not wear masks. The main ones that come to mind are the Marauders from Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Let's talk about why someone would wear a mask in the first place. You could be someone else. A simple answer, but think about it. Behind a mask, you can project yourself to be what you want. People can't see your face to know if you're telling the truth or not. You also would use a mask to hide your identity from people who would otherwise be able to recognize you. This was a major plot point in Sonic Chronicles. The Marauders who were fighting this whole time weren't some alien race. They were actually another clan of echidnas who were locked in another dimension for thousands of years. Take a look at this clip from when Sonic asked Infinite for his name from the Enter Infinite trailer.
I don't know anything about you, not even your name.
You may call me Infinite.
in the brief moments that remain to you.
I want to stress his wording here. You may call me Infinite, not my name is Infinite. Even the way he says this comes off to me like he has something to hide. So the question we asked ourselves now is, what does Infinite have to hide? The second idea I have is that he is Mephiles. This guy. So who is Mephiles? Well, he's a villain from Sonic the Hedgehog on 360 and PS3, or as it's more commonly known, Sonic 06. This was my initial thought upon first seeing Infinite, as the two looked very similar. Red eyes with yellow irises and black pupils, dark fur with white tips, gauntlet-like clawed gloves. But let's just say, it's not an odd idea to assume that the two would be the same person at first glance. Now, at the end of Sonic 06, and Solaris being erased from existence in the past, who was a merger of Mephiles and Iblis, it's a little hard to see how this could be Mephiles. And yes, Sonic 06 lore is a bit convoluted. But we're dealing with time travel. Again. So who knows what could happen? For all we know, Infinite could be someone that we all hold dear. Now for the big one and the bulk of our discussion. Infinite is Sonic. To be more precise, he is the Sonic from Sonic Mania, or as we'll call him, Mania Sonic. Let's cover the basic questions before I go into more details on why I think this can be possible based on what we know so far. How can there be 3 Sonics? Well, generations and forces basically set the precedence that we can have more than one of the same character exist and interact with each other without dooming the planet. One more isn't a too far gone idea. He doesn't even look like Sonic. If we look at his design, notice the gem seemingly lodged in his chest. To me, that looks like the Phantom Ruby from Sonic Mania. Who was the last person in Mania to be seen interacting with the Ruby? None other than Mania Sonic. We've seen in Mania that the Phantom Ruby can not only drastically change the appearance of things, it can also corrupt them. Take the hard-boiled heavies of Sonic Mania. Before coming into contact with the Phantom Ruby, they were just egg robos with no thought, given orders to collect the Ruby by Eggman. But as we see in the intro stage of Sonic Mania, the Ruby not only gave them free will, it changed them, and I would put forward that it corrupted them. I keep stressing the word corrupt here, as I believe the hard-boiled heavies took their newfound free will and independence, and at first kept helping Eggman, and then tried to overthrow him and take over. But why? They're free now, and they don't need to follow his commands. Let's look at the Titanic Monarch that the last stage in Sonic Mania is named after. It looks a lot like the Heavy King in his changed state. Ask yourself, why would Eggman make a gigantic robot in the image of a machine he himself didn't even build? We even see the Heavy King appear in the final fight and directly fight against Eggman, and Sonic, to take the Phantom Ruby for himself. You can even try and argue the other hard-boiled heavies are actually helping Eggman during the second to last boss fight. To me, it doesn't look like they're helping him, it looks like they've been repurposed by Eggman. Similar to how E101 Beta ends up after being defeated by Gamma at the start of his story in Sonic Adventure. Speaking of Eggman, let's consider him as well. He's the only other character we see directly using the Phantom Ruby on several occasions, yet it has no effect on him. What if the Ruby cannot corrupt someone who's already corrupted? We see Eggman use the Ruby several times throughout the game, and he doesn't change at all, unlike the hard-boiled heavies, but also unlike them, he was already evil to begin with. So we established that the hard-boiled heavies were blank slates, and that Eggman himself was already corrupt. But what would happen if Sonic was forced to interact with the Phantom Ruby like he is at the end of Mania? Infinite himself looks like he's directly fused with the Ruby, and the only person we know this could have happened to is Mania Sonic. He even appears to have spines like hedgehogs do in the Sonic universe, and even one single one going from the middle of his head backwards, just like Sonic. Now for this theory to be possible, we need to establish that time travel has happened in the plot of Sonic Forces. Classic Sonic is here, but that one is given, so we'll set him aside and go deeper. Let's look at the other villains who are working with Eggman in Forces. Metal Sonic is a robot and can be rebuilt. As long as Eggman reprograms him to be obedient again, he'll want to oppose Sonic just as much as any other time. Shadow is also one you can write off as being robotic, so this could be one of the other Shadow robots that we've seen. But let's assume that it's one of the main Shadows. It can either be the Shadow from Sonic Heroes, or the Shadow from Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, as these are two different Shadows. Both of these Shadows, especially the Sonic Heroes Shadow, would want nothing to do with assisting Eggman at this point. To my knowledge, the Heroes Shadow is the one who appears in Sonic 06, Generation, and subsequent games. He even showed up to cheer on Sonic during the final battle in Generations, and has never worked with Eggman before. But what if someone went back and recruited Shadow during the early part of the Sonic Adventure 2 timeline? I could see him being willing to assist Eggman then, as he's already working with him during that time. What about Zavok? He and the other Zeddy and the Deadly Six were only assisting Eggman as he enslaved them using cacophonic conch, which both hindered their powers and caused them great pain. After the conch was broken by Sonic in Lost World, Zavok wanted to take revenge on Eggman by using his machine to destroy the Earth. Not exactly a relationship that you can just fix through some talks. But what if someone went back and got both Zavok and the conch while he was still enslaved by Eggman? It wouldn't be unrealistic that he'd appear again, as he was forced to come. Chaos, in my mind, is the big one that points towards time manipulation of some kind. Chaos has not appeared as a villain in the Sonic game outside of cameos since the original Sonic Adventure. Really fast, I'm sure people will mention his boss fight in Generations, but that was literally going back in time and having to fight him again, so in essence, it was a cameo. At the end of Sonic Adventure, we even see him much more at peace, and him and Tikal fly away together. The only way for Chaos to be here and working with Eggman again is through some form of time travel to get Chaos when Eggman still had control over him in the Sonic Adventure timeline. I would be really excited to see them actually fully try the evil Sonic angle in a mainline game. I mean, they tried it with Shadow and Metal Sonic, but those aren't actually Sonic. Archie Comics' Sonic series has done an evil Sonic from a different dimension before, even though he has the 90s evil twin syndrome going on. He does eventually become Scourge after a botched attempt to go super using the Master Emerald. I really want to see what Sega and Sonic Team would do with a story like this. Do they try to save him? Does he want to be saved? Or would he remember who he is and help them? Would Sonic have to defeat himself? So many really cool possibilities run through my head with a story like this, and just amplifies my excitement for Sonic Forces and to see how the story actually unfolds. And you know, it's also possible he's just some evil being that was trapped inside the Phantom Ruby and was released at the end of Sonic Mania. Well, this was a really fun video to make. I hope you all enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it. Let me know who or what you think Infinite will be in the comments. And thanks for watching.